today's main topic, the Yacht Girl. The Yacht Girl storyline. The Yacht Girl storyline. This is quite hot.
Well. If it isn't two snakes fighting, because Meghan Markle's past is truly coming back to bite her in the butt.
Wasn't there some speculation that she was on Epstein's yacht at one point in time? There was like photos with her and Prince Andrew way back in the day when she was like in her...
She was a yacht girl. That's right. It's mentioned in the book. Meghan used to entertain as a yacht girl. Now, I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it happened. But I am saying Harry knows.
This is where the story gets uncomfortable because notice what's being protected and what isn't. The denial isn't about whether the claim exists, it's about distancing from responsibility while quietly admitting awareness. When something is dismissed but acknowledged in the same breath, it stops sounding like rumor control and starts sounding like damage control. And that's the moment viewers realize this isn't about truth or lies anymore, it's about what someone already knew and chose to live with.
With today's main topic, the Yacht Girl. The Yacht Girl storyline. The Yacht Girl storyline. This is quite hot.
Notice how it's framed right from the start, not as a passing rumor, but as a storyline that refuses to die. When a topic keeps resurfacing across years, platforms, and voices, it stops being dismissed as fringe gossip. The heat here isn't accidental. It's the result of unanswered questions piling up. And once something reaches this temperature, silence only makes it burn hotter.
Well. If it isn't two snakes fighting, because Meghan Markle's past is truly coming back to bite her in the butt.
This isn't just conflict. It's exposure colliding with self-preservation. When insiders turn on each other, it's usually because too much is at stake to stay quiet. A past that was carefully managed suddenly starts resurfacing from unexpected directions. And when that happens, control slips fast.
Every day it's a new story. I'm a feminist. No, I want to be in the kitchen.
This is where inconsistency becomes the headline. Reinvention can look empowering until it happens so often that it starts to feel strategic. When identities shift to fit the moment, people stop listening to the message and start questioning the motive. And once credibility cracks, every version that follows feels less believable than the last.
Meghan and Fergie are both exactly the same. People say, oh, Fergie never talked bad about the royal family.
That comparison isn't accidental. It's provocative by design. Lumping these two together immediately reframes how silence, loyalty, and timing are interpreted. In royal circles, not speaking out doesn't mean nothing is happening. It often means someone is waiting for the right moment to speak.
For those of you who don't know who Ron Burkle is, he is basically the employee of Marcus Anderson, the owner of Soho House, and basically the main pimp for Rachel Meghan Markle.
Now the focus shifts from personality to infrastructure. Once supporting players and behind-the-scenes figures are named, the story stops feeling spontaneous. What once looked like coincidence begins to resemble coordination. And when those connections surface, the fairy tale explanation starts to unravel fast.
Wasn't there some speculation that she was on Epstein's yacht at one point in time? There was like photos with her and Prince Andrew way back in the day when she was like...
Even unfinished, that suggestion lands heavy. The power here isn't in a claim being completed, it's in the overlap being implied at all. In public scandals, timelines don't need confirmation to become radioactive. Once certain names are mentioned in the same breath, perception takes over and refuses to let go.
That lady is a temptress. She's a siren. She's lured him into the rocks.
I haven't heard that term in a long time. She's a harlot, almost.
She's, well, harlot's bad, right?
Language like this isn't casual. It's charged, emotional, and revealing in itself. When descriptions swing this extreme, it signals how deeply polarizing the perception has become. It also shows how quickly criticism turns personal when narratives stop holding together. At that point, the conversation isn't about behavior anymore, it's about blame.
2001, Summers shared that the media may find a photo of Markle on a yacht in Phuket, Thailand, cavorting with Prince Andrew through Maxwell. That will be the bomb.
This is the kind of hypothetical that rattles institutions. Not because it proves anything, but because of what it would imply. A single image can rewrite timelines people thought were settled years ago. In public life, evidence doesn't need context to be explosive, it only needs to exist. And the very suggestion of that possibility changes how everything before and after is viewed.
But Markle had been invited to the Yacht Week 2016 that year. Oh my god, that year.
That reaction alone tells you the timing matters. Certain years carry weight because of what was happening quietly behind the scenes. When invitations, events, and personal transitions overlap, they invite uncomfortable questions. And once timing becomes the focus, explanations start feeling thinner by the second.
According to people, she got started her yachting days and she never stopped really. I don't think any of her boyfriends knew about it, but Meghan Markle was known as a hardcore yacht partying person, ready for anything, very pretentious.
What stands out here isn't just the claim, it's how casually it's presented, as if this reputation was already established in certain circles. When descriptions like this surface repeatedly, they suggest a persona that existed long before the public narrative took shape. That disconnect forces viewers to question which version came first, the image or the reinvention. And once that question is raised, it doesn't go away easily.
She was calling herself a model and she was starring in a show Suits. She used to charge almost $30,000 per trip, which is why she was making good money. It wasn't on Suits, it was on her yachting trip.
This reframes the success story entirely. When income streams don't align with the public-facing career, curiosity turns into skepticism. People start doing the math, and the math starts asking uncomfortable questions. That's usually the moment when a carefully polished backstory begins to wobble.
This woman knows that she's in trouble with Fergie because she knows where Meghan Markle's bodies are buried. She knows that Meghan Markle has been yachting. In fact, they had friction because Meghan had originally set her sights on Prince Andrew, but she lucked out with the idiot Harry. Not in a million years did Meghan think that she was going to score Prince Harry. She thought she was going to score Andrew until Fergie put a stop to it.
What's being suggested here isn't romance, it's calculation and leverage. When relationships are framed as targets rather than chance encounters, the entire fairy tale framing collapses. This turns the story into one about strategy, gatekeepers, and sudden course corrections. And when someone is said to know where the bodies are buried, fear becomes a far stronger motivator than love ever was.
It'd be also happening that the royal family saying, hey, if you put a book out about Meghan Markle and completely destroy everything and really tell the people how Meghan met Harry.
This is where power dynamics come into sharp focus. The idea isn't exposure for truth's sake, it's exposure as leverage. When books, silence, and timing are all treated like bargaining chips, it suggests a behind-the-scenes negotiation the public never sees. And once that possibility enters the conversation, every move starts to look less personal and far more strategic.
In my opinion, in my analysis and my experience of decades, this kind of analysis for me is the real deal. If a photo such as this of Meghan Markle with Prince Andrew years ago surfaces, that will be quite an scandal.
What makes this unsettling isn't certainty, it's confidence backed by time and experience. When someone speaks this cautiously yet firmly, it signals they understand the weight of what they're implying. A single image wouldn't just raise eyebrows, it would collapse carefully maintained narratives overnight. And that possibility alone is enough to keep institutions on edge.